Hey guys, KC Jilly. Figured I'd give y'all a little quickie. It's getting winter time almost now, see. I've been putting up all these videos about preparing for fall, and fall's surely here, but I can feel winter creeping in. And so while we have a little bit of summer stuff, I'm gonna show it to you, but probably in the next 2 weeks, I'm digging a lot of peppers up and moving stuff into the greenhouse, but I'll show you where we're at right now. All right, so I've been slowly getting rid of all my strawberries, and they've been getting put all over the place. Just hiding them out, letting them reestablish all over the yard. And this area right here that's getting soaked down, I put a bunch of carrot seeds in there. There's a few radishes in the back, but it's still warm enough here in the afternoons. There's caterpillars and stuff munching out on them, so we'll see what happens with that. I trimmed my grapevine, and I'm propagating those guys. They're pretty young, and it's really small and thin branches, so I don't know that they will take, but I figured what the heck, it's worth a shot. I'd like some more grapevines. And you can see a few sporadic heads of lettuce there, or leaf lettuce, coming up. And at this point, I'm not sweating it. I have a bunch more started, and I haven't got my panties in a wad over it because it just keeps getting too dang hot in the afternoons for it. So it's playing games with it. Underneath, you can see my wife stuck a few garlic in there, and they're coming up, and my grandson has been playing over here. So, you know, there's the evidence, real life. And that's a watermelon he picked out of the ground a while back. My wife stuck it in a deal of water and stuck it in the window, and that dead burn thing pouring roots. So I stuck it out here so he could look at it. All right, let's check that area over there. So after trimming up my grapevine, this is kind of what I got. And it's so early. It's its first year, so I'm not getting too carried away with really training it all crazy. I just kind of want those roots to get a hold, to get well established. And then I don't care, you know, I don't have to do it like everybody else. I'm thinking I'll just bring this one straight on across, this little piece of work here, and where this one goes up and over, I'll probably carry another one across this way. And I'll trim it up as we get a little further down the road, but right now I need to beef that guy up. And here's some of my bell peppers. They're looking really good. Those are big enough I could pull them off right now and eat them with supper, but maybe in the next couple nights I'll make fajitas and use those guys. But these are my lunchbox peppers, and I want to tell you something. I've lived in Texas, right here in this area, my whole life, and down here we really like our hot peppers. But I've never been a guy who's went out for the sweet peppers, but these lunchbox peppers, that's what they're called, lunchbox peppers. They turn orange when they're ready. They are delicious and sweet. And I am certainly gonna save this one. This guy is going back next year. I'm gonna overwinter him, and I'm gonna make the most of it. I mean, all the pepper plants are really putting out right now. And I've been robbing them left and right. In the last probably 2 weeks, everything's really putting out. You can see I got some more bell peppers. Multiple colors supposed to be forming here. You know, but everything's healthy. This guy, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to see what it is. I know it's a pepper plant, but I don't know what kind of pepper plant. And I don't know if it's got enough time to quite put anything on where I can tell. So I'm not sure if I want to only have like 7 or 8 pots. And the truth is, I don't want to waste it on something that I don't want. I don't know if I want that or not, but if it takes this long to make, you know what I mean? So, and I found out what these guys are. And I picked a bunch of them off. These are golden cayenne. They look like a serrano kinda, and they're yellow. I've been wondering all this time what they were, and somebody around here was telling me, you know, I think those are those golden cayenne, and they're really getting hard to come by. So if you have some seeds, save them for me. So I saved some seeds back, and we'll see how all that goes. But do you see how they look a lot like a serrano in their early stage, but they go yellow every time? That's how I can tell. Pretty little yellow peppers. And the sweet heats, fully loaded again. If nothing else, I'm gonna be able to make some salsa even if I have to buy tomatoes from the store. Hopefully I will not have to. All right, now we have our banana peppers. And they've been making pretty good. We've pulled a whole lot off, so doesn't look like there's as many on here today, but it's because we just robbed it. And this is also a banana pepper, but this one is hot banana pepper. Okay. Here are my real actual serranos here. Been loading up on these guys too. See if I can give you a good view of this stuff. Everything's just loaded. And my jalapeno. As far as a hot pepper, jalapeno's always pretty much been my favorite. And serranos are a very close second. I really like them. But you can see, it's a shorty because I cut it that way because it was really tall once upon a time. But now, you know, it's a little shorty, but dadgum, it's putting it out. So that's all I care about at this time. Now, let's go back there and take a peek and see if I might accidentally get an ear of corn for this first freeze. So you can see everything's throwed off the seed here. And if we look down here at our silks, you can see some of the seeds in there. Isn't that nice? Well, that guy, he needs some more seeds. Hopefully these will fall in there, but I may accidentally get some corn. All I need is one ear for seed for next year, if nothing else. But if it accidentally made and I had the opportunity to be eating some corn, I would be a very happy guy. So my little probably 10 or 12 corn stalks here, shorties, and a couple of them that's a little bit longer. They're doing okay. And that tomato bush, I can't remember, I think it was a green Berkeley tie-dye, to be honest. I'm not gonna have enough time to get anything on it to count. And this one, I don't know what it is for sure, but I may accidentally get one or two off of it. You know, they're formed, but I don't know if we got enough time. To be continued. Okay, and the banana trees are reaching for the heavens. But no bananas this year. Fortunately, they have established. And I was just going to show you guys this dadgum passion vine has grown up here, up into the tree, my little redbud tree. And we've had flowers that we could see from our kitchen window all up in that tree. You can't, I guess we're at the wrong time of the evening or something. Yeah, wait a minute. Let me see if I can. There it is, right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I got a couple flowers way up in the top of a redbud tree. Now, let's get back down here to business. This guy is really fuzzed out, but I'm not really seeing any tomatoes. I don't think it's got time to do me any good. So, we'll see what happens. I got a few more green beans I just picked the other night, about 2 nights ago, so not a lot, but there are a few green beans down in there. The basil's all growed back up and seeded out again. And I got some brassica stuff happening back in here. Bok choy. Things are staying okay over here in the shade. All right, now this tomato plant has grown all the way up into my tree as well. And I didn't see anything growing off of it yet, so if there's anything in there, that'd be nice, but I don't know that I'm gonna get anything off this bush. Over here, let me see if I can find it right there. This is my Roma tomato bush, and they haven't done worth a you-know-what for me this year. That may be my second or third Roma all year long. So I'm not gonna grow Roma next year. I'm going to try another type called Opalka and Amish paste, and I'm going to see how those guys do. Now this one is my favorite. This one right here, it's my little baby. If you'll look and see, it is loaded all the way around it, and I have a very good chance of getting tomatoes off of this one. In fact, there are some ready. I don't know if you guys can see all the tomatoes on this thing. And I don't know if this is a hybrid. I'm kind of wondering if it is an early girl or what the deal is here. But I mean, this guy's loaded all the way down. So, of all my tomato bushes, this one's determinate. But this one, as far as I knew, it was determinate. It's obviously not behaving like one. That guy is kicking butt and taking names. And look, even back here in the shade, I've been getting okra in the greenhouse, but this is the first one I'm gonna get off of here. So, got some pretty good okra. It's getting smothered by this tomato bush, which is okay because it's my final hope right here of getting tomatoes really. But golly, it's doing good. And more brassicas. Got some red cabbage up in here. Now let's go check out the greenhouse. I thought I'd show you the Egyptian spinach real quick. It's made it through its first year. It's put off seed pods like crazy, and I'm just gonna let them fall. So there'll be a bunch more Egyptian spinach along with that little pomegranate tree right there. So my little Middle Eastern section here on my house is doing okay. I'm gonna turn directly around and let's look in this old hairy greenhouse. All right. This, I think, is the same tomato plant that I've got so many outside on. Yeah, I thought it was determinate, but it may be some kind of hybrid or something because it's still putting out as well. I got a couple on it in here. It actually is doing better outside. Of course, I'm not taking my shade cloth off. These are all sun golds. I certainly should be taking my shade cloth off at this point, but I'm scared of the weather, to be honest with you. I'm thinking that if I take it off, it's gonna hail or something, and things are maintaining right here, so I'm not sweating it. I may be cutting myself out of tomatoes. Oh well. All right. You can see I've got plenty of flowers on all of the bushes. You know, look, there's something happening right there. Be honest, I think it's a sun gold. All right. Now, but that sun gold is overgrowing my little determinate hybrid thingy. And up in here, there is a black crim for sure one. I saw it at one point. So dadgum hairy in this thing. I can't see nothing anymore. I have to get in here and check a little closer later on so I can show you if I got something, but you know, it's thick. Okay. And this one is possibly Ananas Noir. And as you can see, at least I have one. Look at the bud on this thing. Can y'all see that? Dadgummit. Is that not the most peculiar looking little bud? Looks like a dadgum pumpkin vine or something on there. But everything is thriving. We're at the perfect temperatures right now. The only problem is it's just not gonna last. In fact, if you'll notice, my little heater's gone. I'm fixing to put it back in. I took it to my shop out at the Secret Garden and I cleaned that guy up and got it prepared for the winter time. And I also filled my propane tank, and it's sitting out there with full of gas now so I can get it set up to go. All right, this is the pink Berkeley tie-dye, and I may get one more of them. That'd be pretty cool. This German green, man, there ain't no telling. I'll find out shortly. Okay, down low. As you can see the, say down low, let's say middle area here. I've got the okra going all the way down, and we just robbed them all yesterday, so that's why there's nothing on there, but we've been getting something from there. You can see our brassicas. I think that's gonna be broccoli. I'm not sure yet, but in fact, I'm sure that is. So that is also. I got broccoli going right there. And maybe kale. I'm not sure what all, but got the brassicas down low. I have a few carrots going down here. And back there in the back, you can just barely see the dang things. See if I can get squeezed in there a little closer. There's some of those strawberries. I've planted them all over the place in little spots to let them just start their own little thing. So, all right, that's pretty well got this side, except for this guy. Thought I'd show you him since he made such a pretty web in here. I ain't gonna mess with him. He'll catch the skeeters that are running around right now. All right, now, over here. This is the carrots. And they are doing just fine. Doing just fine. Sometime in December they should be ready. But they took real well, and we're gonna harvest them one at a time as we need them. You can see there now, you can kind of see those onions. And there's some little trash stuff growing in there with it that I'll pluck out eventually, but right now, I'm just leaving it alone. They're easy enough to pick between those onions. And there's a citrus tree, and there's the other citrus tree. I brought them on in. This morning was 39 degrees. It's not the end of the world, but I don't want to tempt fate. All right, you can see our potato buckets. Sorry, let me scoot out a little bit. Our potato buckets, nothing sprouted yet. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, something will show up in the next 10 or 12 days anyway. We'll go from there. Oh, and also, this is all my little seedlings that I'm just starting of all the lettuce I told you about. And I can see the romaine cimarron. I see a little bit coming up there. And I see an iceberg and a couple of regular romaine. So, you know, I got all different kinds in there. Got some red leaf lettuce and some green leaf lettuce, and I've got a couple of different head style as well. So we'll see. It looks like I need to go this way a little bit to make sure the last guys get a little bit of water. They'll have to share with the carrots. But anywho, I'm gonna let this stuff stay in here and we'll see how this does. Now let's go outside again and see what's left in the garden. All right, guys, well, y'all probably remember the mess. I got in here, I had 10,000 little blueberry tomatoes making, but they were smothering everything else. So I decided to pull a bunch of them out. I pulled a bunch of the perpetual spinach that was kind of piling up. Got some little pepper plant here. It's not gonna have time to do anything. The perpetual spinach. Not sure what I got here yet, but if it's pink Berkeley tie-dye or what at this point, but find out. And as you can see, we've got a little bit of cabbage and stuff hiding in there. The critters, and I noticed a couple of tomato worms in here eating on stuff as well. Let's come over here real quick. I thought I had a big one on one of these here, and I'm having trouble seeing it now. Probably screwed it up. Took it, no, there it is. Let's see. So I got something coming off of that one. That's cool. Even just one's better than the one I wouldn't have got, and I didn't pay anything for it. These are all suckers that were planted late. Okay, and this is a sun gold and blackberry and everything mixed in right here, so you can tell the sun golds, obviously. Oh, look, I even have some ready down in the bottom. I got a little helper that can come out here and help me out with that. Now, look at those strawberries. I don't know if you guys can tell. They are standing up pretty tall. They're probably a foot tall in some spots, so that's awesome. They're kicking butt, taking names, spreading out. Asparagus still hanging on. Look, you can see all my tomatoes I threw away over here. Okay, there is a volunteer potato plant right there. And this is another volunteer potato plant. It was eaten down pretty good by the bugs already. So whether anything happens with it or not, I'm not sweating it. I just don't really care at this point. You can see the little blueberry tomatoes. They look so dang pretty, and they actually go red when they're ready, but I think they taste like crap. I'm just being honest with you. They do nothing for me, so I'm just not gonna sweat them. Just not gonna sweat them. Okay, we're gonna go that way. All right, here's all the onions that I put out here. They seem to be doing okay. Now, I've seen where when they get 6 or 8 inches, you can cut the tops. whether or not that helps a whole lot. This is my first year growing onions, and so I'm gonna leave them alone this year, and I will see. And then next year I may decide to cut them, because they're at the point now where I could cut the tops on some of them. Quite a few actually, but we'll go from there. The fig tree is doing great. I'm gonna propagate off of it as well. I wanna say this is a Celeste fig. There's some way better tasting fig varieties out there, but this is one that does well here, and it was available when we went to, we checked like Home Depot and Lowe's and all those places, the big box store things. And this was the kind we kept running into. It was this or the brown turkey fig, which is probably okay, but that's very common around here. It grows kind of wild, and I don't know. I'm gonna steer away from that for the moment, and we're gonna stick with this one and see how it does. Okay, now over here, these China Jade cucumbers, they're not gonna have time. So what I'm thinking is I'm probably gonna try to dig them up and stick them in here and plant them close to the bottom of those tomato bushes in the greenhouse, and just let them climb up the tomato bush. I don't care. All right, I need to get my side. I'm gonna build some PVC sides for that. I got the PVC and stuff today cut up and designed kind of. Tomorrow I'll get some bubble wrap and some plastic and make some doors for the sides that I can just slide on and off real easy. It'll be real lightweight. It'll work pretty good. And look at all this mulch. See, now this dadgum comfrey has built up really good. It's established there too. I can use all that stuff for mulch, and it'll come on back and keep drawing stuff up, and maybe old sickly here will do better next year. I'm still not sure if I want to even mess with this guy next year. I'm kind of thinking about doing some heavy cutting. We'll see. And one straggler beet that for whatever reason, I think we pulled them all up and threw them over here, and this one just decided to come on back. But a little bit of cilantro, sure than much. Parsley, doing real good. Roma tomato, always flowering and looking healthy and never doing anything. Okay, the Cenizo bush. And wintertime is so close. And then I'm gonna take these dadgum seed pods. Maybe they'll get all the gunk off for me. But I'm gonna take all these seed pods. I know this is real invasive, this trumpet vine, and people steer clear of them, but it is also beautiful. And where I work out at the shop, I'm in a place where it's open and it's dry and it looks like crap. And I believe I can control it out there. I even have heavy equipment around close by if it gets serious. But I'm gonna put this stuff out here and see if I can get a little jungle going. All right. That is probably the last squash that guy's gonna make, because I'm probably gonna cut this out. And you can see the blueberry tomatoes have done the same thing in here. They're just kind of spreading all over the place, and I'm not that big of a fan. The brassicas in here have done better. I got a little bit of spinach down there in between, but you see the bugs have been eating them pretty good, but the bugs are starting to lighten up. It's finally getting cool enough, like I said. I want to say this is called Michelini, something to that extent. It'll be the first time I've ever tasted that stuff. I don't know if it's any count or not. But, you know, this guy's thriving and doing good, but the time's almost up, so it's fixing to come out, because it and all these little blueberry tomatoes and stuff, they're coming out, and I'm going to put a lot more brassicas. I'll have to show you guys how many I have out at the secret garden next time I go out there. And I'm thinking I've got a bell pepper plant here, and it's just now coming on. It's to be continued. We'll find out. That squash is on its last days as well. I will say this though, all those suckers that I grew, they all did pretty dadgum good, and that's a technique now that I know. I had heard of it, but I never tried it. But that's a technique now I know that it's going to help me out in the spring as well. Because our first season is so much longer. Now the heat's bad, but dadgum. If they made it this far, in this time period. Hollyhocks are getting up there. Hollyhocks. All right. So guys, before it gets a little bit too empty around here, I just wanted to show y'all the last of it, of the summer stuff before it goes, because it's getting to that time period right now where it's done. Yeah, even if it goes, it's just going to take one night and we're right there. So I've got a lot of brassica started, and I'm going to try to get plenty of cabbage and cauliflower and broccoli and stuff and lettuce for this fall season, or winter season, I guess you'd say, winter garden. But I'll check back with y'all, and I'll have an update for the secret garden. Ain't much going on out there, but I do have a lot of brassicas out there and onion stuff too. So you can see what's left out there as well. So we'll catch you next time. Come back and see me.